Hi, I'm Brian with Locrum Partners. So you're the CEO of a company and your senior leadership team just locked arms and said, we need to hire a chief revenue officer or we need to hire a new head of sales. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, the head of sales, a senior vice president of sales or a vice president of sales, is typically responsible for managing the sales workforce. And in managing that sales workforce, they manage quotas and budgets and pipeline and opportunity management and forecasting and all things around sales. And they report the output of their team's forecasting and performance back into the organization as it pertains to new sales pipeline. Now, the chief revenue officer, their job's much wider, right? They have to align sales and marketing. They have to ensure that legal and business systems and finance and all those back end processes are all aligned, so it doesn't add any friction into the seller's selling process. And the chief revenue officer is obviously also in charge of sales. But before investing in either a chief revenue officer or a head of sales, I have something for you to consider. First is chief revenue officers and heads of sales. Today, the likeliness of them staying with your company greater than 18 months is low. That's right. The average turnover time or the average time in seat for a head of sales or for a chief revenue officer is only 18 months today. Wow. And think about those first 18 months. What happens? Well, both of those roles would need to come in and learn your company. They need to learn how the company operates. They would need to learn the current practices and the current processes and how all the current systems work. And all of that would be happening within their onboarding period. But the other problem is within 90 days, the senior leadership team is going to want to see impact. They're going to want to see results. They're going to want to see change. 90 days in role, both of those functions have to show the company that they invested wisely. Both of those roles are highly unlikely to be in their position after 18 months. But there's a couple of steps you and the leadership team can take before hiring a CRO or hiring a head of sales. In Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, one of the anchoring principles was ensuring that companies have the right people in the right seats on the bus. You've all read the book. So having a formalized talent strategy, ensuring that you've got clarity, clear eyes on what kind of skills and competencies that your organization needs to have and should be hiring for each of your key roles in sales, whether they're inside sales or BDRs or outside sales. Like building skill and competency models to ensure that you have the right team on the field is step number one. And then step number two is your sales process. Your team today, absent of having a chief revenue officer or absent of having a head of sales, can build a formalized sales process. And that sales process often lives in your CRM. If this sounds like the current state of your company and some of the changes that your leadership team is considering, give us a call. We're really good at this. We can help. Because for over 22 years, we've been building sales processes and sales systems for big leading companies in media and technology and healthcare. These are industry leaders, but we've been able to build sales effectiveness programs, and it starts with, do we have the right people and do we have the right processes? And that's where we can help. So give us a call.